What is up, boys? It's your boys, Bruce Willis and Gonna Start a Fire, coming at you live on a live recording.
Hello.
Anyone who gets that reference is one of us, too.
Yeah.
Okay,
Very
everybody, we're back. It's Opum. We're one piece of our minds. This is chapter 1141 has just dropped. The chapter title is An Older Woman. And we're starting off with Ogre Child Yamato's Golden Harvest Pilgrimage, Volume 27, Can't See Through the Tears of Anger.
bro.
Gonna be honest, I
Looks
never
like
cared about Ulti. Or Page
well,
One for
looks
that matter.
we actually the SBS for the latest volume dropped or got translated earlier this week.
Mm-hmm.
We actually know who their dad is now.
Is it Moria?
It's Hanafuda.
I saw an interesting theory that it was Moria. Kind of disappointed to hear that's not true.
You should look into. I don't go into it all because I kind of want to get to the chapter, but it's he kind of goes through Hanafuda's history with Kaido and all that stuff. What
Interesting.
happened after Ace beat him up? So it's an interesting read.
Yeah, no, that's certainly a thing that shall happen. Anywho, for now, we're gonna jump right into the chapter, page
What?
one. Get it? Page one.
Page one.
Okay,
Alrighty.
do what you do,
So when we
Patrick.
last left off, we got the key from Scopper and we were heading back there, right? And we met the new Holy Knights, and that was pretty
Yeah,
much it.
yeah, that was about it.
All right, cool. So yeah, we see our crew with Roto and it looks like some of the guards in tow on their ship. And Nami's saying, "Gigantic diamonds, gold ingots, pearls. Those are the only reasons I walked around that stupidly enormous castle. What do I care about this Loki monster or whatever?" And Roto's like, "Ultra Nami, don't bring that up." Oh, excuse me. And you see some of the giants that were beat up. They're like kind of laying down there, like Loki, diamonds. And Roto's like, nothing. Ignore her. What you two need right now is rest. Maybe take it easy with all the hot button words, Ultra Rare Nami. I want treasure. Ultra Rare Nami. So she just has no chill. She's just like treasure.
That's
All right.
exactly what it is. Yeah.
Adam Tree 4. We got 4 Adam Trees, so I get that right.
Did you purposefully read that wrong?
Adam. No. This is my first cup of coffee. All right. All right. Adam Tree Tour. Tour? Sorry. All right. I'll keep going. Frankie's saying, "There's more to see than even I imagined." Ripley's saying, "So as you can tell, we live in the branches of this enormous tree, each of which has its own long history." Whoa, what's this one? Long ago, there was a village called Hagen on that branch. Hagen D's nuts.
Oh,
One
got you.
day, one day, lightning struck the village and started a fire. But when a branch gets old, the fire just never goes out. In order to ensure that it didn't spread to the other branches, they had to cut it off, village included.
Oh,
Boy, that had to be a real tough call to make. I guess even Adam can get old and decrepit. You might say that the vulnerabilities of Elbaf are fire and lightning, in fact.
okay. So Anel's coming
Hmm.
back, right? Like this arc
Hmm.
is the arc where we get Anel back and Ace, for that matter.
Hmm. Ace is coming back.
Ace
He's
is coming
alive.
back. He's also got his devil fruit back.
Inexplicably. Alright. During the feast, Western Village. Where you been, Nami? And this is Usopp. He's clearly a little tipsy. I don't see Louis or Lolo either.
What?
Probably exploring.
Oh, Luffy and Zoro.
I probably should have said Loro because of Viz, but anyway. Okay. Nice. Er, Jarl, this is our genius navigator. Jarl's just right there. Ah, and what a beauty she is. Hey, watch it, you old perv. Shay, what's your ideal type of woman? Oh, sha. My favorite type? Hmm, an older woman.
That
Sounds like
doesn't exist. You're the oldest person in the world. Sorry to steal your thunder there, but I got a
no,
kick out of that.
it's a great. I wish you would have read it right. You know, he says exist an oldest person in the world, and then dahaha has a lot. But other than
Dahaha.
that, good delivery, good
He
delivery.
also what? Slaps him on the head? Slaps him on the
Slaps him on
sword?
the sword. Yeah, he's like, yo. And I was like, Chief, yo. So that's a great bit. And you see Dory grab Usopp. Hey, Don't touch Chief Jarl. Oh my god. Alright, hold on. Hey, don't touch Chief Jarl's sword, Usopp. No, you shut up, Dory. Is there no hero who will draw Excalibur from its sheath? You better not. He'll die of blood loss. Brooke's like, whoo, boy, he's really wasted. I can't blame him for getting carried away. It's been his lifelong dream to come to this place. And yeah, Nami's just sitting next to Jinbei.
Wait. Brooks' head is on his crotch.
He's also drunk.
Yeah, that's two unrelated things.
Is it?
How often have you put your own head on your crotch?
I can't. I'm not a skeleton, man.
Lack of a bone joke.
Mm-hmm. Anyway. Yeah, so Nami's saying it's his lifelong dream. Jinbei saying, "Wow, he seems to be having the time of his life." Hmm? We just cut to Sanji. He's around a bunch of feet. Wait a second. Where did Gerd get off to? So it looks like we're cutting away yet again. Ah, to Gerd it would appear. Compression fractures in the limbs, and this one seems to have been injured by something sharp. Could this have been caused by some small but powerful human weapon? What happened? Explain it all to me. These are the castle guards. That's not a good sign. So we see Gerd's talking to Roto. They brought the injured giants from the castle down here. Oh my gosh. I swear I was only going there for inspiration and fashioning the details of my black castle. When I noticed the shattered gates and the guards on the floor inside. You look awfully sweaty. Is it hot out today? Beep! I wish you'd stare at me forever.
Stop it. This guy's too fucking weird.
That's weird. It's weird, Roto. Let's wake the guards up so I can hear what they have to say. No. Give them plenty of rest. Well, then I'll just have to report to Chief Jarl. But why ruin such a joyful feast? It wouldn't be right to bring unconfirmed fears to the village's attention when everyone is already in such a festive mood. We must wait until the Archery Straw Hats return. If they find out about this business with Loki, I'll be treated like an accomplice. And I've always wished we could release Loki and have him leave this island forever. Let him rampage elsewhere for all I care. There's just one thing that troubles me. I don't think it's right to ignore the report of an intruder who looks like red hair, and you just see, like, in the background, Gerd's winding up with an axe. And she hits him. Okay, out with it already. Tell me what you're hiding. And he just screams, punish me!
I'm not trying to kink shame, but guy, keep it
I'm gonna
to
kink
yourself.
I'm gonna kink shame a little bit.
It's hard to read. No, like if you're into that, that's fine. Just please don't involve me.
I'm gonna involve you.
Okay.
Alright.
For
The
you,
underworld.
Patrick, anything.
Punish me. Alright, so we're in the underworld. Hey, Luffy. This doesn't match what you were saying. I know, something changed. Even the animals got messed up. You guys okay? Loki! What happened? Who did this to you? And yeah, we see Luffy and Zoro in front of Loki. Luffy's got the key. And Loki's all beaten up and bloodied. This giant's huge. Talk to me, Loki. Oh, he's breathing. Don't use the key yet. Something's wrong here, Luffy. Look how hurt he is. He's not going to be able to cause any damage. Come on, Zoro, help me. Help. So the cuffs are made of sea prisms. What's with these huge animals? Chill out, Luffy. Not yet. A giant is dying, man. We have to save him. That's not my problem, though. I've never talked to this guy, and I've only heard bad things about him. All I know is that if an oversized supergiant starts raising hell, it's going to be a major problem, even for Elbaf. Give me a second. He just kicks Loki in one of his wounds. What are you doing, Zoro?
Why? You jerk.
And Loki's like, "But," and he just starts screaming in pain. And Zoro's like, okay, so the injuries and blood are real. He doesn't seem to be acting. And Loki just bends over. What do you think? Zoro's like, huh. He just slumps over. He died. Zoro's like, if he's dead, then he wasn't meant to survive. And Luffy's like, that's messed up.
It is. Zoro's cold.
I mean, but that kind of lines up with him, I think.
No, like
Anyway,
this isn't out of character. It's just also surprising.
here, we'll unlock the cuffs, but keep one of his legs still locked up with Sea Prism Stone. If he wakes up again, we can talk to him. All right, maybe I'll go call for Chopper. Nah, it's too far to the library. Though I'm pretty sure there was a doctor at the feast in the village. Bringing Gerd in. If that's how they find out we freed Loki, though, we're gonna get kicked out of the country. If it happens, it happens. I'll go find the doctor. We'll need meat, too. Can't get better without food. You want meat? There's plenty of meat over there. Hmm? He's talking about the animals. Luffy's like, don't ever say that again. They're my friends. I'll hunt some different ones in the mountains. And Zoro's like, meat is meat.
Dude,
No, those are friends. And you don't eat friends. Fine, fine, jeez.
is this like comedic banter or is there a rift growing between them like right here? They are disagreeing on everything.
Eh, I don't think it's anything super
Like I don't think we're
dangerous.
gonna have like a Luffy v Zoro come up. Zoro's not leaving the crew, but I think we're gonna have to repair their relationship by the end of this.
This can't have been the first time they've had a conversation like this.
I
Is
don't
my
know.
thing, you know?
We'll get into it later. Keep reading.
All right. But the doctor comes first. You wait here. Sure. Huh? We're doomed. You see a ship flying in from the sky. What? And you see the new giant pirates flying in. The island clouds will disappear down in the underworld. All we need is a little bit of buoyancy before they vanish. Don't worry, Gert, I'll save you. It looks like Sanji's there. We don't have time to use the lift. It's an emergency. It's Loki. If Loki gets free, it'll be hell unleashed. It's not working though. We're gonna crash and die. I'm sorry, everyone. I made a mistake. We can't blame you. You were thinking of the fate of Elbaf. Goodbye, cruel world. So yeah, we got I'm not gonna be able to name. Oh, it's Goldberg,
It's Goldberg.
Gerd.
Guard.
We got Hajuden, Roto, and then
You're so close.
Mick Duncan.
Stanson.
I was close.
No, not really.
All right. And the ship lands. Oh, Luffy inflates himself, and they land right on top of him. Gum Gum Balloon, and Hajuden just crying, Straw Hat. He's like, hee hee hee. And then, of course, they bounce off. They're like, ah! And Luffy's like, oops. Oops, oops. Um, and Hajuden's like, but thanks anyway. And Stanson's like, we only got severely injured instead of dying immediately.
Okay.
These guys are great.
I love them. I love most of them.
We are in such a panic. I'm glad we made it in time. Whatever you do, Straw Hat, don't free Loki. We made Roto spill the beans. I'm sorry, Ultra Luffy. You can't trust Loki. He's a cunning, cruel, vicious, backstabbing, conniving villain. We've known Loki since we were children. If he told you anything that made him sound sympathetic, then he's lying. He's the kind of beast who will kill a so-called friend at a moment's notice. And you just see Luffy making his I'm lying face.
I didn't even notice.
He's just like,
He's just already made up his mind.
and he's an enemy of the world. Zero's like, well, it's too late. And they're all just like, they turn and they're like, huh? Oh, this is a badass panel. You just see Loki standing up. His face is all shaded out. He's still all bloodied on his chest and stuff. He's still got one Sea Prism Stone cuff on his leg. But you just see Luffy looking up at him. He's just massive. And yeah, all the new giant pirates are like, Loki! What? I thought he was passed out. Hashiden's saying, don't do it! Loki, take your hand off of Ragnar. And he's just smiling.
Okay,
And that's the end of the chapter.
I'm sorry. Immediately, I need to call BS. So you freed Loki. No, sorry. You chained Loki up, and you didn't take away his weapon. You just left him with that.
That's a fair point.
Like in the hopes that he never escapes. Just we'll leave him with his weapon. You didn't think to maybe take that away in case he gets out. No, that one. That's a little. I don't know about that one.
What are we thinking, Elbeth? Unless it's somehow directly connected to him and he can't be separated, but
Okay.
I don't know.
But no, I think we're like I think we have a Luffy Zoro conflict brewing. Because let's examine Loki. Let's talk about Loki for a second. His introduction, his energy obviously mirrors Luffy. Everything he does action wise is a direct parallel to how Luffy and Zoro were introduced. So there is a connection. He is significant to them.
Hmm.
If in nothing else, in terms of like spirit and power. But I think the
Hmm.
fact that now we have Luffy and Zoro here, like the rest of the crew is not here. It's just a Luffy Zoro moment where everything Luffy wants to do, Zoro's saying no to, and he's usually fall in line behind the captain. But he's standing up. You don't free them. That's stupid. Just eat those animals. It's stupid that you're not eating them.
Hmm.
I don't know. I feel like we have some kind of conflict brewing. Again, I don't think it's going to be like a Water 7 with Usopp where he leaves the crew and it's a whole dramatic thing. But I think there's going to be some conflict we need to get resolved here about why Zoro's being the way he is and why Luffy's being the way he is. We've also hinted like Zoro not exactly excited to meet Shanks. He's like, how do you know he's actually a good guy? How do you know he's not going to be a jerk?
Hmm.
And Luffy's like, "How dare you say that?" So I don't know. It seems like we have a growing divide between them.
Yeah, and I totally even forgot. Didn't he make some other Zoro? Didn't he make some other comment like either around Egghead or a little after Egghead that was a little callous too?
Yeah, no, like right after Egghead, man, I forget what it was, but they were on the boat, and he's like, "Well,
Hmm.
Luffy shouldn't cry because of Vegapunk's dead.
That's
Like,
what
big
it was. Yeah.
deal."
Hmm.
Yeah, so like again, it's not out of character for Zoro at all, but he's definitely
No,
starting Elbaf on a "I'm in a bad mood."
I wonder if it's a thing of well they went to Elbaf and then or not Elbaf to Egghead, saw what they were up against, and they had to run away. And he's like, "We're not playing games anymore," or something like that. I don't
That
know.
could
Maybe
definitely.
that's being
No, no, no. I
maybe
think
it's
you're
part of
onto
it.
something there, because like they did flee. They didn't beat a single Gorosei. This was okay. We're having a fun time. We can handle a Buster Call. We can handle an Admiral. We got CP9, or sorry, CP0 dealt with. The Seraphim are under control,
Hmm.
and we can't touch these guys. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, maybe he just realized that, like, even as strong as they've gotten, like even though they took down Kaido, like the ceiling is far away yet, and it's not time to goof off.
Right.
But yeah, so I'm calling End of Egghead. I think it gets resolved this arc, but throughout Egghead,
I think it
I'm
could.
expecting a Luffy Zoro conflict and explosive resolution.
Yeah, I think I agree with it. It gets resolved this arc only because this is the most we've seen it on display since stuff's been brewing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm on board with that.
And you know how I think it gets resolved even is fairly similar to Sanji on Whole Cake or Robin or Nami anywhere else, where it's just Luffy puts his foot down and is like, "No, I got this," and Zoro's just like, "You know what? You're absolutely right." I think Zoro's
Hmm.
going to finally realize that we're following Luffy, and that involves being goofy. It rhymes.
So it must be true.
Like, I think, he thinks Luffy's not serious enough, not, actively trying, and he's going to realize that, oh shit, no, he's actually got this under control the whole time.
Hmm. Yeah, makes you wonder.
Okay,
Makes
so
sense.
you go. I had my turn, you say a thing, but then I got some Loki stuff I want to get into.
Yeah, we can. I mean, I'm just pointing out that the Luffy Zoro conflict. It isn't just to me. It's them discussing freeing Loki and what
Yeah.
he's all about. So yeah, I mean, it's like a good portion of this chapter. So
I
yeah.
mean, and it's like at the forefront this chapter, but even the past few chapters, it's the you shouldn't trust Shanks like that. You shouldn't want to free
Hmm.
Loki. We shouldn't do this. It's
Yeah.
everything they're doing is a disagreement.
Yeah. And it's not like, Zoro's saying anything out of pocket. It's just kind of the way he's
Yeah.
saying it.
No, like again, it's not out of character, but it's coming off harsh.
Yeah.
I
So
forgot
yeah.
about Usopp.
That is a nice character beat that they give for Usopp that he's just so happy to be here that he kind of forgets himself a little bit.
Yeah,
I think
it's
that's cute.
fun.
Okay. So what are you thinking about Loki? You want to
Okay,
get to that
so
point?
I saw this really, really cool theory. I do not take credit for this. I think I saw it on the Hidden Island. It was either
Hmm.
him or Dex Sake. I fully give credit to either of them for this, but both of them for being good content creators. But they, I think, have rightly discerned Loki's devil fruit. Do you have any guesses?
Well, I've actually heard another theory. I don't want to throw that out there before you say yours. So,
Okay, that's fair. So we know it has to be like a god tier devil fruit. You know, it's legendary for a reason. We know it's got to be tied to Loki intrinsically because we're dealing with Loki here, and it'd be weird if we had gave him a devil fruit tied to the Zeus. You know, it's going to be a
hmm.
Loki devil fruit. So what is a god compared to or related to Loki and man, what tied to Norse mythology and all that? The answer is Fenrir. Just tell me now. Is that the same place your theory goes? Okay.
Nope.
Do you know Fenrir?
The wolf, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so for
Loki's
those of
son.
you unaware, he's a giant wolf who is Loki's son, who is given a prophecy that he's going to kill all the gods and destroy the world. So what do they do with him? They chain him up. Uh, so you know, we got chained up Loki, the exactly the way they take down Fenrir, and at Fenrir's release, we get Ragnarok. We get the destruction of the world, and Loki's promised if he gets out of here, he's going to bring about the end of the world. So I don't know. We got Fenrir brewing, I believe.
Mm.
There's more evidence
Yeah.
to that, but I'm kind of curious to see what your theory is.
Well, even I'll even bounce off of that. We've got when Shamrock showed up and used his sword, that was a Cerberus fruit,
Mm-hmm.
right?
That was Cerberus, yeah.
So that's another mythical dog, and maybe that's what it being cute about it, being like,
Yeah, see,
but
like I thought of that, and it either is that or it isn't that. But you know,
mhm.
like that being untrue does not take away from this theory. But you're right; that could absolutely just be a cute little nod.
Yeah.
You know, maybe even this is a bit of a stretch. I'll admit. Maybe that's why Loki didn't die. Is he's like you know the king of all hellhounds, and they could not deal enough damage to him.
Yeah. I don't know.
But yeah, I fully believe we're looking at Fenrir right here.
Okay, okay.
So what do you got? What's your theory on this devil fruit?
Um, I don't know. Yeah, there really isn't much to base it off of, but this YouTuber I follow, he had a
Well,
theory with his
shout him out.
community he
What's his
formed.
name?
Rogers Base is the boy. He's the goat. He's great, but he comes up with some wild theories sometimes. I don't know. This probably counts as one of them, but I'm trying to look in the Harlequin. No, what's the name of the story?
The Harley.
The Harley. I was close. Um, but it mentions Sun God a couple of times, so I think he and his community kind of came to the conclusion somehow that there are two Sun Gods, two Nikas potentially. One's more warlike, one's more
Hmm.
joyful, like Luffy is. So they kind of thought that maybe, just maybe, Loki has the warlike Nika fruit.
Uh, I see the train of thought there. I definitely don't agree with the theory.
Hmm.
I'm sorry. I'm 100% sold on Fenrir. It just makes so much sense, and the parallels are right there.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's multiple sun gods necessarily. I think it is just a lost in translation, lost in history kind of thing. In a direct parallel to Jesus, you know, or not even
Well,
Jesus, but I guess I don't know the broader word for this, but you know, the Christian God as a whole, where there's
mm,
100 different types of Christianity, but then it's the same as the Jewish God, who like as you know, they're the same, but beliefs are wildly different. And it's then
mhm.
still the same God as the Muslims, who again different beliefs entirely, but it's all tied to one guy, and it's just vastly different interpretations.
Right. And I could totally see that. And I don't necessarily feel, I don't think I stand on that hill, really. I
Hmm.
think it's an interesting theory for sure,
Oh
something
yeah,
to
no,
think
I'll give him
about.
credit. It is creative thinking, absolutely.
But I think they even threw out the fact that, with devil fruits being like the wishes of certain people, like maybe people believing in two different Nikas, I did kind of going against what you were saying, how it's like different beliefs about the same person. What if their different beliefs formed the two different devil
Yeah,
fruits,
no, like it's plausible. It's I'm not looking at that and
Hmm.
saying it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
I don't think that's the direction we're going in. But
yeah, I would agree with that.
I mean, it does line up. There
It's
is
interesting
evidence,
though.
and it absolutely could be true. Like just because I'm sold on Fenrir does not mean it's Fenrir. But
Right.
I can't see it not being a legendary god Norse mythology fruit intrinsically tied to Loki that has all the parallels of how we meet him and free him. Like I'm sorry, it lines up and I'm sold, and I'm gonna be really upset if it's not Fenrir. I burped a
Yeah,
little bit there.
I didn't catch it. I did. I lied. Um, yeah, I like the idea of keeping it Norse themed for sure. I like the idea of Fenris too, because you're right, he is chained up and he is the one that'll like, bring about Ragnarok and stuff.
And
And that,
again, it's not even just chained up in Ragnarok. It's the fact that he's Loki's son. It's a legendary fruit directly tied to Loki's
directly,
existence.
yeah. So it's an interesting theory. I do like it for sure. But you know who else has a Norse mythology named attack?
An L.
Eh,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, and the fact that
Just
they
saying.
specifically highlighted the tree is vulnerable to lightning in the
And
same
fire.
chapter where we got not same chapter, same arc where we got a picture of the arc Maxim.
Hmm.
I think this is an L's arc.
I think there's a very strong case to be made for him coming
I
back
mean,
this arc.
literally, like let's even. You're right. He's got Norse mythology attacks. Absolutely. Above all that, this is an island of gods, and
Mm,
he has
yeah,
declared himself God.
right.
Like, if nothing else, the symbolism of I am God and I use Thor's attacks. Like Loki's right here. Anel's coming back. There's no way he doesn't.
Yeah, it feels too perfect.
Now, hear me out. With as sacred as we've implied the Atom Tree to be, now we know it's weak to lightning, and we
Hmm.
know during the last great flood, everybody was like clamoring for high ground.
Hmm.
We destroy the Atom Tree here, and El comes back, burns down, Elbaf gone. So we're just shot in the foot before the final war. There's nowhere we can run to safety. That raises the stakes immensely.
Yeah, if because part of
Strongest
me, I don't.
military taken out, just done. Nowhere to
Yeah.
run, nowhere to hide. We cannot beat the Gorosei. Time to fight.
Now, what if I don't know why, but ever since we read that and we saw the carving on the Atom Tree, we saw the Arc Maxim. I kind of had it in mind that Anel would join our side somehow. I don't know how that fits.
I don't know how that fits either, because he wasn't straight up evil, I don't think. Like, was he a tyrant king ruler? Absolutely. But,
Yeah.
I mean, he showed up, he kicked old God's ass, and he declared himself king. So, you have whole parallels there about, like, false gods, false rulers, the rule of the
Hmm.
world, and all that. But he never, like, tried to kill Vivi. He never, like, he didn't wipe the minds of the locals and enslave them. I feel like there could be a redemption arc. Like he goes up there, he learns some things, he comes back.
Hmm. I mean, he's got the space pirates. I mean, he's pretty. I'd say he's pretty heartless and callous because he did have that whole Fortnite battle royale, and he's like,
But
all that.
I don't know. You're right, but again, I could see the redemption in terms of he thought he was God. He was given a
Hmm.
power of invincibility. He's like, well, let's just play a game, mortals, because why does it even matter? Then he gets his
Right.
ass handed to him. Maybe he gets a little sympathetic now, like, oh, I shouldn't just have people kill each other for funsies.
Yeah, maybe. We haven't seen him since the time skip. I just remember the last we saw of him on the moon was, kind of just watching these space pirates try to rebel against their captors, and he's just like, oh, that's kind of neat.
So yeah,
But we'll
like
see.
I'm open to the idea of a redemption arc. I'm also like I don't support it though. Like I think Anel comes back as a bad guy. I think
Hmm.
he comes back as a manageable bad guy because if we could beat him way back in Skypiea, what's he even gonna do now?
Right. How
Like
much can he? Unless he's like got his fruit awakened, but even then.
even if he has, like Luffy beat him because he's got the characteristics of rubber and can beat him.
Hmm.
But Zoro can now also attack him, and Sanji can attack him, and fucking probably Usopp is gonna be able to attack him.
Yeah.
Not
I
to
mean,
mention
probably
Loki, Shanks
Nami.
is here. Nami, at the very least, can like use Zeus to
She's
absorb
got Zeus.
lightning.
Yeah.
Like
There's
it
potential
was a
there.
stacked deck before, and now you're just not even like you're not coming back as a threat. But again, Adam
Hmm.
weak to lightning. I think he burns down the tree, takes out Elbaf. Strongest military is gone. Strongest fallback is gone. It's
Right.
now either fight or die.
Yeah. That could be interesting.
But we shall
I feel
certainly
like.
see. Oh no, go on, go on.
Well, I was gonna say maybe they do something with similar to Lucci, where like he comes back and he was a big bad, but like he kind of I don't want to say gets sidelined, but he kind of gets put to the side
No,
in
Lucci.
Egghead
I am so
a little bit.
disappointed in Lucci because he is still one of my favorite villains. Like the fight on Ennie's lobby is one of my top 5 moments in the series. I
It's
loved
peak.
it. And then he gets reintroduced on Dressrosa, and I'm like, oh shit, Lucci's back. What's he gonna? And then he shows up on Egg, and I was like, we're finally getting it. And Luffy's just like, no, I can handle him. I can handle both of
Yeah.
you at the same time. I can handle everything. It's just he's not even a threat anymore. He's small fries. He's an
Hmm.
appetizer. He's a plaything. I do like the arc they're giving him where he's actually concerned about Kaku and he's definitely realized the Gorosei are evil. He's like, oh shit, what
Hmm.
is this? So he's still an interesting character, but
Yeah.
man, for as tough as he was, they really nerfed him.
Yeah. I think he served his purpose in that arc just fine. I do agree. I think I do like him better in Annie's Lobby slash
Mm-hmm.
Water 7, but
He's
I
just so
yeah.
much more like yeah, he served his purpose fine. I just wish he had a different purpose.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair. But I think we could get something similar to this with NL where he comes back, but it's like, oh, we got these Heavenly Knights we got to take care of.
See, and
So I don't
I
know.
don't like that. I don't want more previous villains coming back, and it's just like, well, I've had a change of heart. Like it was fun
I
getting
don't
him
think
to
he
team up with
comes back like that.
Crocodile in Impel
Impel
Down
down.
because
Hmm.
Crocodile did not have a change of heart. We just have to team up
No,
with the villains because we need
they
all the
just
muscle we can get right now.
they just happen to have the same interest. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like we want to get out of here. We want to get to Marineford. That's the game plan. So I loved that because at no point was Crocodile a good guy. He just happened to also, do heroic things for his own interests.
Hmm.
But yeah, absolutely. I don't want to see more villains come back and suddenly they're in a more favorable light and they've learned a few things.
Yeah. Hard to say. We'll see.
We'll see. You got anything else on this chapter?
No, no. What? Hold up.
I'm
Think
holding it.
so? I don't think so.
Well, boys, if you want
No.
to see our thoughts on future chapters and other small One Piece projects we have popping up here and there, be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on them notifications, and we will see you next time.
Up.